What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports, back again with another one. Undisputed super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez will be returning to the square circle September 14th. He will be fighting either David Berlanga or a rematch with Lara. You remember the first fight was very, very controversial. A lot of people thought Lara won. A lot of people thought he outboxed Canelo, as Canelo did not do a good job of cutting the ring off. But in the second half of that fight, in particular in the championship rounds, Canelo Alvarez was able to basically have Lara on his bicycle, on his bike. You know, wasn't sitting down on no punches. Basically, he got a taste of the power of Canelo Alvarez, as Canelo did a good job going to the body. I think he was able to slow down Lara just enough to make him a guy that when you got to win the fight, if it's competitive, especially the championship rounds, and you're not the A side, you've got to really finish strong down the stretch. And I think Lara failed to do that. With all that being said, I thought he won enough rounds early to get the win. I had to fight 7 rounds to 5 for Lara, but it was a lot of swing rounds that could have went either way. And if you look at the fact that Canelo landed the harder shots, even though I believe that Lara probably landed more overall punches throughout the 12-round affair, I believe that Canelo landed the harder shots. His shots were more punishing. But it was a very, very competitive fight. And Lara is coming off a first-round knockout last month on a card that was produced by the PBC on Amazon Prime. That was the Fundora Tim Tszyu card. I think he was the co-main event, man, as he knocked out the guy from Australia down under in the first round. So he's a guy that's not moving like he did in his younger days. He's much more in the pocket, sitting down on his shots, and he's not wasting a lot of punches. Just doing what a veteran fighter does, not just throwing punches just to throw punches, being very smart, being very economical. And the same could be said for Canelo Alvarez, is what he's doing, man. When you get a little bit older, you got to fight smarter, not harder. And I think that Canelo and Lara are doing a great job at doing that and extending their career, and still, to this day, fighting at a high level. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. But that's what I'm hearing, man. My source is telling me that Canelo Alvarez is coming back. The fight will take place more than likely in Las Vegas, Nevada, aka Sin City. And the two opponents that him and his team is looking at is Edgar Berlanga, who's the WBA mandatory contender for Canelo's super middleweight title. So if they do fight, it'll be for all 4 belts. He's put himself in the position of being the mandatory. Now, when you look at Edgar Berlanga resume, it's thinner than synthetic oil. He ain't fought really nobody of note. Now, his career started off with a bang, man. He knocked out his first 15 opponents in the first round. Everybody was like, man, this dude here is a real deal. One-hitter quitter. This dude got a PhD in the one-hitter quitter, knocking out everybody, man. A lot of people were saying that he should have been fighting Canelo like 2 years ago. People was talking about that fight. And here it is now, man. His opponents have gotten better, and the knockout streak has got lesser, really, because he ain't been knocking out too many guys in the first round. I don't think the last time he recorded a first round knockout was probably that 15th fight. You know, he got 15 in a row, so that just kind of lets you know the quality of opponent that he was fighting in his first 15 fights. But the guy power is real, but he's very, very raw, and he has never been on this level, man. I don't even think he's fought a big level fighter yet. He's been fighting a bunch of C- and C+ level fighters. And them first 15 guys that he fought and knocked out in the first round, them guys were C level fighters at best. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. But that's what I'm hearing, man. Canelo Alvarez will not be fighting David Benavidez, man. He said the other day that the only thing that David Benavidez brings to a fight with him is 25 to 30 pounds on fight night. And he said, I'm cool with that, but you got to pay me $200 million to fight David Benavidez. And I'm going to tell you something, man. Canelo got a point, and then he don't have a point. He got a point that David Benavidez is a huge. I don't know how the hell he was making 168, but he was. And he was doing it within the rules, so it is what it is. But truth be told, David Benavidez should be fighting at cruiserweight, in my opinion. He should be at cruiserweight. Damn, he going up to light heavyweight in his next fight. I'm going to be at that fight. That fight's going down June 15th. He's in the co-main event on the Tank Davis, Frank Martin card. No, it ain't. They moved that fight. They sure did. That fight was supposed to be at Toyota Center June 22nd. But I don't know what the hell happened. Toyota Center dropped the ball. Now they moved the fight to Las Vegas June 15th. So I ain't going to be at that fight. I ain't going to be in no Las Vegas June 15th. I'd have been there. That fight, man, I always Tank, man, at least come to Dallas. Come to Dallas. I can make it to Dallas. Dallas, Houston, but I ain't going to be able to fly during that time to Las Vegas for the fight with Frank Martin. I just had to order it on pay-per-view, man, but I ain't going to be able to make that, man. I was definitely going to be there when I was hearing that the fight was going to be at the Toyota Center, home of the Houston Rockets. I was definitely going to be there, man, but with it being in Vegas, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. With all that being said, though, it's not going to be David Benavidez that Canelo Alvarez is going to fight September 14th. The man asked for $200 million. He ain't never asked for that amount of money for anybody else or anything close to that amount of money for anybody else. So that just lets you know, man, that fight ain't happening. Canelo don't feel like he want to fight this guy. He thinks the guy's way too big for the division, basically. And he said, if you want me to fight this humongous, blowed up cruiserweight, then you're going to have to pay me and pay me handsomely. So we will see what happens. And we will see what transpires. And it won't be Crawford either. I know Crawford and David Benavidez has been prominently mentioned as opponents for Canelo Alvarez. Now, Terrence Crawford has a fight August 3rd. That fight's going to be going down in Inglewood, up to no good, California, It'll be going down there. And August 3rd, if I'm not mistaken. So that's just too quick of a turnaround for him to be available for September 14th. And besides all that, I don't think Canelo want to fight Crawford either, man. He know Crawford is one of the smartest boxers in boxing history. I've never seen this type of boxing IQ since Floyd Mayweather Jr. His in-fight adjustments is second to none in this era. And the only person I can put up there on the level of a Crawford as far as boxing IQ and knowing how to make adjustments in the ring is Floyd Mayweather Jr., man. Canelo don't want them problem. You know, Canelo will say, oh, man, the dude coming up 3 weight class, I ain't gonna get no credit for beating him. Man, you don't want no smoke with Crawford. Because Crawford next fight gonna be at 154. You fought Jermell Charlo coming from 154, while you can't fight Crawford if he wins August 3rd coming up from 154. You see how that works? You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. It's not gonna be neither one of those two guys. And I don't think it's ever gonna be Benavidez. It's a 25% chance he might fight Crawford if the money is good enough and if his numbers continue to go down, because I heard that his last fight with Munguia did 500 to 550,000 pay-per-view buys. That's about 100,000 down from the Jermell Charlo fight, which did 650,000 pay-per-view buys. And when you look at the last 5 or 6 Canelo Alvarez's pay-per-view fights, especially when he was over there on the zone, man, his numbers have gone down. Now, since he's been back with the PBC, his numbers have been respectable, or a little bit better than respectable. Jermell Charlo, again, did 650,000 pay-per-view buys. That fight generated revenue, and the fight with Munguia did 500 to 550,000 pay-per-view buys, which generated revenue with the guarantee that Canelo got for the Munguia fight, which I heard was in the neighborhood of $30 to $35 million. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. But that's what my sources is telling me, that Canelo Alvarez will be taking on Edgar Berlanga and satisfying his WBA mandatory at 168, or a rematch with Ezri Lara. The 40-year-old changed his style, more fan-friendly style, Ezri Lara. It'll be a good backstory to that fight, considering the first fight was so controversial. See, the fact that Ezri Lara bum rushed Canelo Alvarez's post-fight press conference. That's what led to the first fight. When Canelo beat, I think he beat Anguilla. I think he beat Alfredo Anguilla. That was his first pay-per-view as the A-side. And at the post-fight press conference, Ezri Lara was on some Clubber Lane type of stuff, man, and bum rushed his press conference, got up under Canelo Alvarez's skin. And Canelo Alvarez went against the advice of his promoter, manager, probably his trainer, and all these people told him, don't take this fight. It's a bad matchup, man. Even if you win, you're not going to look good. It's a hard matchup, man. This guy's a tricky tricky southpaw, very experienced, knows how to move, excellent on defense. Don't take this fight, Canelo. You just got through fighting a guy in Floyd Mayweather Jr. that was a similar style that you struggled with. Why would you go back and fight this same style that you had problems with? But he was like, damn, Nat, he disrespected me at my press conference. Interrupting my press conference. He called me out, man. I ain't gonna let this dude play me like that. I'm finna fight him. Damn what y'all talking about. And he went on and took the fight. And he was able to get the decision over Lara, controversial as it was. So we will see what happens. And we will see what transpires. Follow me on Facebook, JB Sports 3303. Follow me on TikTok, JB Sports New Media. Follow me on Facebook, again, JB Sports 3303. Follow me on Twitch, Briscoe Josh 77071. Follow me on my 2 YouTube channels, JB Sports 3303, at JB Sports 3303, and the second channel that I have, at JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. Like, share, and subscribe to JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend, and I holla.